finding it so hard to come to AIRADS Kericho. We've planned several times with your principal. I kept rescheduling. I want to say I sincerely apologize. Why? Because I'm not full-time public speaker. I work for Elgeyo Marakwet County and I take orders. I take orders from my bosses, and sometimes it interferes with personal programs that I plan. We were supposed to do this meeting today at 10 a.m. in the morning, and the last evening before I left the office, my boss told me I'm supposed to receive a team from Baringo County who are coming for peer learning in our county. And I had to say, yes, sir. So I had to negotiate with him so that we rescheduled for afternoon. And please, I want you to appreciate my driver for driving exactly 2 hours, 8 minutes to Kericho. So, we thank God. My name is Kilimo Ruto. I'm professionally a teacher. I have a license to teach maths and business. I last taught those two subjects in the year 2005 in Kericho Girls. There's been a journey from then up to here, because immediately after that, I got an opportunity to work for a mission hospital called Kapsowar, AIC Kapsowar Mission Hospital. I worked there as an administrator, and then later on, I resigned and got a job in the bank. I worked in the bank for a while, lakini nikachoka kuhesabu pesa ya watu, nikasema waje niende nitafute yangu. So I resigned and I became jobless for a while, and then Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission was formed. It was a temporary commission, and I got an opportunity to work with that commission, the defunct Truth, Justice and Reconciliation Commission. So when the mandate of the commission came to an end, I became jobless. So I decided kufanya masomo ya kumbara. Baada ya kumaliza masomo ya kumbara, they call it masters. So baada ya kufanya hiyo masomo, Mount Kenya University gave me an opportunity as an associate faculty. So I taught in Mount Kenya University up to the year 2015, when I joined Elgeyo Marakwet County, where I served as a director in public administration, in charge of public participation and civic education. That's what I do for Elgeyo Marakwet County. I do a few other things, kando. One of them is that I'm a deacon, a better call it an associate pastor with the AIC Fellowship in Eldoret. Kwa lugha inaeleweka, mimi ni kijana ya mkono ya mapasta. Pasta akipata homa, mimi napata nafasi ya kuhubiri. So, that's what I do for AIC Fellowship. But actually I practice with authority because I have a diploma in systematic theology. I'm one guy who has read so many things. Some of them seem to be a little bit irrelevant. Because when I went for an interview in Elgeyo Marakwet County, I actually tabled the 52 papers. So, that's why it's very important you are here. Alright? You are here. I've come to realize that my diplomas seem to help me more than my degrees. I'm a PhD candidate with JQuad currently doing leadership and governance. But what I'm doing is obvious. The diplomas seem to be very powerful. There is somewhere I tabled a program. They call it senior management. It's a course offered by Kenya School of Government. It seems to be so powerful. There's a friend of mine who got a contract to a little bit educate the MCAs of Kakamega County. They told me I want someone to come and handle maneno ya governance. I told him I can do it. Akaniambia uko na karatasi ya KSG, that's Kenya School of Government. I realized that paper is so powerful, and it was only a 1 month thing. You get what I'm talking about? There's a point I'm driving, there's nothing idle I'm mentioning. And I'm just about to finish the motivational talk, by the way. He told me, uko na karatasi ya Kenya School of Government? I told him yes. Akaniambia ya nini? Nikamwambia niko na 2. Nikamwambia 1, niko na moja kwamba I'm a trainer. They call it TOT. You do it for 1 month in Kenya School of Government. And I told him number 2, niko na senior management. Nikamwambia just send me those papers and your letter of employment at the county, and then I'll consider you. And I went there. He gave me 2 sessions to facilitate. It was done in Kisumu. And each session was 40K. Kenya School of Government costed me 160,000. 1 engagement only, ikarudisha half of my fees. From today, you will start respecting your diploma. Am I talking? Yes. Nataka nipitie tu AIRADS, lakini nataka nifanye degree immediately. You might realize utakulia hii diploma kuliko the degree that you will go for. Am I talking? Yes. I was just introducing myself, sorry. So that's what I do. I am also a certified public speaker, not by an institution, but by personal opinion. You must have an opinion of yourself. Am I talking? Yes. Yes. So I've traversed this country. I've talked in organizations. I've talked in colleges. I've talked in secondary schools. I think well over 300 secondary schools in this country. I have also talked in the US. I represented Kenya in the Global Summit, Leaders Global Summit, which happened in 2017 in Washington, D.C. That's why if you don't clap here today, there is no problem, because I've had a standing ovation. Yeah, wazungu. That's on a light note. Thank you very much for the opportunity to be in this campus. Like I told you, I was here once upon a time. Most likely that time, many of you were busy in primary school and some were busy in high school. Busy saying, when I grow up, I want to be an accountant. When I grow up. And finally you're here. We thank God because of that. I am here just to encourage you a little bit. And yes, and I want to request that by the end of this, I make a prayer for you. Allow me to start by telling you that life is unfair, but God is good. Amen? Amen. Is it unfair? Yes, because a friend of mine told me the other day, Kilimo, sometimes you look back and you just get annoyed. I told him why. I've done an investigation and I realized that people work so hard in school and some of them get straight A's. He told me those guys go to college and they do those funny courses that they tell you must have gotten everything right to qualify. Pharmacy, medicine, architecture. Those courses. They graduate and they come back to the referral hospital here probably, or MTRH in Eldoret, and they become physicians. They are the doctors. They are doing the operations. They are replacing somebody's heart with plastic and you continue with life. Those are the guys. Then there are some students who are not badly off. They work hard, like in wale watu akili yao haipigi race kama A students. But they are serious people. They are very serious and very responsible. They get B. Wanamaliza degree na wanarudi. Wengine haya diploma, wengine wanakuambia I'm doing management course, mwingine anakuambia nafanya CPA na amefanya business management. You wonder what is it with these people? They graduate, they add their diplomas and so forth. Unakuja kufanya kazi kidogo, alafu unasikia yeye amekuwa director MTRH. He begins to manage the A student. Are you getting the order? The A student graduated is just a doctor, one of the employees at MTRH. The B student did business management, na akaongeza senior management, na akakuja referral, is the MD. Is managing the A. They can't take it. Am I talking? There is also the danger where some other people hate themselves so much that when somebody laughs them, they get so excited and they become so desperate in depending on the external source of laugh. So that when it is withdrawn, they withdraw themselves from the earth. Am I talking? So you fall in love. When that guy withdraws, you finish yourself. Huh? Yes, I've seen men. Recently we went to rescue a Form 4 boy who was left by a Form 2 girlfriend. Amekunywa deep nini, he has been left by a Form 2 36 kilograms girl. Excuse me. Tunaenda kuokoa mwanaume mzima kifua 13 inches, amekunywa tu. I was telling myself, that guy was wielding an axe in Eldoret. I said, I wish he would have talked to me before doing that. Because personally, I've been left 4 times. And I thank God, I've gotten to a point that if you are to walk out of my life, I will ask you if you want my escort. Nikusindikize, nikupandishe gari, nikuambie safiri salama. The only people who must remain in my life are the people who believe in me. Am I talking? Yes. Why are you going around clinging to a man who is killing your reputation and has no respect for you, is not proud of you, anakuambia nakupenda but don't tell anybody? Away! An obstinate block of food in the name of a boyfriend. Wachana nayo. Am I talking? Yes. I think we need to increase the threshold of our self-love. So that when people come to your life for different reasons. Some will come to challenge you. That is why mtu akikuja na kumisuse kidogo, let me tell you something, drop the pain, pick the lesson. Am I talking? Yes. Mwingine ameingia maisha yako hapo, mumekaa na yeye amekula pocket money yako hapa, wewe umebaki umekonda, akakuacha. Eventually, thank God, now you have learned. You will remove your money in a calculated style. Learn the lesson. Learn the lesson. And the lesson is that you must afford some significant amount of love for yourself. Amen? Amen? That's where we begin. And let me tell you, let us not rely so much on other people's opinions of our lives. And that's why I started by telling you, I've got an opinion of myself. And let me tell you, based on my opinion, any other opinion from somebody else is a suggestion that I will put on consideration. So I'll go and sit down and analyze whether you are saying the truth. And if you said something right, then I will improve. When I discover that you said a lie, I just drop it and move forward. Am I saying something? That's on relationships. And that's why some people are judging themselves based on how others accept them. Some girl, when I just finished college, tukaongea na yeye, tuna compare notes. Na hata mimi nikakuwa gentleman, nikanunua kasawati kidogo kutengeneza njia ya maneno. Mimi nafunza taroted girls. Msichana anatuambia mimi simu kwamba nakuja kukuona. And I was very excited. But do you know what? She was coming to return the president. Am I talking? So usifikirie ni wewe peke yako umewachwa. Usifikirie ni wewe peke yako pesa yako imekulwa, hata yangu imekulwa. Hii pesa inakulwa. We learn from our mistakes. And I'm talking to you very sincerely. I'm not the kind of a guy who will come here and tell you, oh, you know, I've been an angel, oh, that's why I've been a pastor. No! I've made so many stupid mistakes. So many. You know, even some of us grew up in an environment where you are just vertically so connected that you even don't know how to love a girl. So you cannot even tell her, I love you. You cannot even take her for a place. You take coffee, Nini, and all that. You know, you are too straight to heaven and you don't know how to stay around. Na hiyo bro, unawachwa. Unawachwa, si ati ni nini? Because if somebody really is in love with you and you are saying you are in love with that, there must be some sort of demonstration. Am I talking? And in the process, you can be conned na pesa inakulwa. You dust your clothes and move forward. You just tell yourself, oh, I experienced a con lady and I'm now wiser. And you move forward. Sasa unaenda kuangalia mira na unasema, what is the problem with me? I've been left twice. Is it the size of my ears or the size of my head? No! It has nothing to do with your physical geography. Am I talking? Some of the things also unawachwa because you don't know how to behave. Am I talking? You know, there are some brothers who don't know how to behave correctly. Unatembea na msichana town ati she's your girlfriend. Unakutana na mwingine unasindikiza na maji. Ama wengine hawana plan. Unaongea tu na yeye, nini anakuambia, unajua kadogo, kuna kadogo kidogo iko hapa na nimeona kasimu imekuja. Kakala kingine poa, ka 30k. Anaenda kununua simu ya 30k, mnangangana na diploma hapa ya community development. Wewe unashangaa huyu mwanaume, siku gani tutajenga nyumba na huyu? Unawachwa tu pole pole. Kwa sababu mtu anaona mpango yako ya future, tutaenda kwa nyumba, the first loan ataomba ni ya kununua gari Volkswagen yenye ikiruka bumps ni kama accident. Yaonekane hapa. You see, let me tell you. Some of the things we do, we think we are doing correct things. And I've always warned my brother that if you are convincing a girl to love you by making money and gadgets available, if she loves you because of the things and the money, the issue is simple. That girl will go for the highest bidder. Will you be the highest bidder? So usisunguke hapa na utishe watu na pesa na nini ndio akupende. Wakati mwingine atatoa pesa mingi kuliko yako. Hii msichana aliwacha mimi, hata nilituma pesa ya birthday 10,000, kuna mwenye alituma 50,000. Am I communicating? Yes. So let us understand that love should not be based on such things. Let us get to a point where somebody will appreciate you for your brain. Mtu anaona huyu ana do, lakini bila anafikiria tukikaa na huyu tutaunda pesa. Are you getting my point? Yes. So when you are engaging the girl, don't dwell so much on describing her geography and all that. Do that, yes, but don't dwell there. Also show that you have a brain that works. Ukadiana one-on-one, wajana hii ya primary sasa. You have come to a level. That girl is looking into the future. Anaona kiatu yako kweli imeisha, but your brain. Hello? That is it, my sisters. Hapana kula pesa ya watu, na ukikula kula yenye unaweza rudisha. Ikiumana kama kuna kurudisha unaweza rudi? Am I talking? Yes. Because there is, let me give you a secret. There is too much stress. Wacha tukuambia ni ukweli. Sasa usikule pesa ya mtu ovyo ovyo. People are so stressed. Mtu anafikiria bila alitengeneza hiyo pesa, alafu of late wewe unaanza kuonyesha madharau, shetani anapata nafasi ya kutumia watu. Naona tu mtu ameingia na kisu, mtu ameingia na nini. Let me tell you, handle one relationship at a time. Am I talking? This thing of becoming a relationship acrobat, you are balancing several guys. Malizana na moja kabisa, fungia hapo. Kama haitapenya, anza ingi. Wengine wako na mingi mpaka saa zingine unachat na waende safari moja unastukia umetuma wrong message kwa nada. Unajistabi tu mwenyewe. Alafu unaanza kusema wrong message. There is no wrong message. There is only a wrong destination. And I have come to realize that, by the way, social skills are more important than even these other skills we are talking about. When you know how to work with people and how you know how to relate on people based on your attitude towards yourself, you stand a higher chance of succeeding in life. Many people don't make it in life because they lack self-esteem and they lack confidence. Do you know there are some intelligent people who go for an interview mpaka watu wanadoubt makaratasi. Mtu anasema, huyu alipata hii yote kabisa. Na you can't talk. I mean, because you don't believe in yourself. Why? What makes you think? What really makes you think you deserve this job? So you now look for sympathy. You know, I've really looked for this job. I've really hustled. I've really tamak. That organization is not looking for somebody to help. Am I talking? So when you go for an interview, go with a very high self-esteem. I went for an interview in Faulu, Kenya a few years ago. I think I'll just be sharing my life with you. I went for an interview in Nairobi. DTM, Faulu DTM, it's a bank. But they were looking for somebody who would be working in the marketing department. And we were so many. So many. Watu wanaitwa. Finally, mimi naitwa jioni saa 11. Nyuma yangu wamebaki watu wawili peke yake. Mimi kuingia namna hii. The panel was tired. They had seen people received answers and answers. The chair of the panel told me, "Welcome, Kilimo Ruto." I said, "Yes, sir." He said, "Welcome, sit down." Wangapi wamebaki nje? They were tired. Nikamwambia wawili, akaniambia, "Okay, sit down." Akashika makaratasi yangu hapo na akafanya namna hii. Na akasema, "Bwana Kilimo, we have looked at your papers. You are more or less like the rest. We have interviewed. We want to be very brief. Just tell us quickly, what makes you different from the others? And what makes you think we should give you this job?" They didn't know the man who had just entered in. I told them I'm very grateful that I was called for this interview. Mr. Chairman, the reason why you see me looking this excited is because I feel inside me I'm halfway into this job. Thank you so much, because my papers have already convinced you 50% that I'm the guy you are looking for. Let me finish the next 50% by telling you that actually I'm that person you are looking for. I am different from the rest, most likely because of the following reasons. My story and the story of Faulu, Kenya are twins. I told them Faulu, Kenya started in the slums. with only $800 as seed capital. And today, you are standing at a portfolio of around 3 billion Kenya shillings. I'm so excited about that story because personally, I was born and grown up in the forest of Embobut in Elgeyo Marakwet, where I grew up with monkeys. I came to Form 1 wearing a shoe for the first time. Na vidole yangu ilikuwa imekaa namna hii. I never dreamed that I would be a graduate. I never dreamed that I would have done 2 other jobs before coming here. My story and your story is the same. This is where I belong. This is where I belong. We share a common history. I'm going very far. Faulu Kenya is going very far. See the journey I've covered. See the journey you have covered. We share some commonality. Number 1, I'm trying to make them understand that I understand Faulu, including where it started. And let me tell you, nobody never appreciates something that you tell them an MC. Do you know the only difference? Actually, you pay an MC for making you laugh. See how you kusoma program, anybody anaweza soma program. Are you getting me? Aya, next mwenye anatakana akuje ni fulani. Mwenye anataka kukuja ni fulani. Anybody can do that. The difference between you na huyo MC mwenye analipwa ni kuchekesha watu. Am I talking? And there are people here. Don't make people to laugh for free anymore. Put a fee on it. Chekesha watu na urecord. Chekesha watu na urecord. Weka social media. Utaona. Utakuwa celeb. Let me tell you. Kwani professor. Am I talking? See the justice social media have done to those guys. I even don't know whether they have a diploma or a certificate or none of the above. But let me announce to you that they had a meeting with the deputy president. When did you last meet with the deputy president? Wednesday last week. Am I talking? We would be sitting on things, and the only thing that threatened it could be just laziness, hanging around, your free time, you are not using it correctly. There are some people here who are supposed to have written a book. I've written a book myself, but probably you don't even need to read a book of my standard. Why don't you write a book for class 1? Class 2, class 3. There are people who are gifted in writing. Naturally. And they are just sitting on it. Why? Because they believe they need a certificate. They need a award. Let me tell you, AIRADS has brought you here so that your brain is straight. Maybe even after your diploma, your brain has been straight. You throw away the certificate and you begin functioning. Am I talking? That's why they are organizing for such a forum. And I think it's one of the rare colleges that do this. There are colleges who think you just have to train people, skills. Maybe this was one of the most important trainings that could have ever happened in your life in AIRADS. Because out of this place where I live, some people may realize that time has caught up with you. You can go around dropping people carelessly. No. You know me, I'm still, wanaume wanakuja hapo, wanakaa mzuri, wanazungumza na wewe bado tu ni issues. You know me now, but I'm taking my time.